Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome to watchyouwant.com. Thanks for logging on. I hope you're ready for the opening bell, because you're looking at the Girard-Perregaux WW.TC World Time Financial Chronograph. This is an outstanding compound complication from a company that is a manufacturer in the truest sense. Now, you may be familiar with the conventional WW.TC World Time. It has a chronograph and it has a world time chapter ring that'll show you all 24 time zones of the world simultaneously. This one introduces a little wrinkle on that. Now, the index is at 12 o'clock, so you set your reference city. For me, I'm in Miami, so I'm in the same time zone as New York. I can use New York at the index. That's my reference city. Now, this inner chapter ring, it actually moves counterclockwise. So as the day goes on, New York will hold station, and the chapter ring, which has 24 hours indicated, as well as AM/PM indication, will move counterclockwise, and you'll see the day progress in New York. Now, I'm going to try to get a little closer here, but what this watch shows that really sets it apart from the standard WW.TC World Time Chronograph is that it has the world's four great commercial exchanges, New York, London, Hong Kong, and Tokyo, highlighted in red and blue with special perimeter rings on the outer chapter ring. These little perimeter bands show local time when the markets are open. So if I'm in New York, I can see that the market opens at approximately 11 o'clock and it closes at approximately 4:30, 4:45. And at the same time, I can see London right here in blue. I'll try to get that so you can see it. London has a comparatively small overlap with New York, so there's this little roughly 2 hour, maybe 2+ hour band of time when both New York and London are going to be open. So if I'm a trader, if I have important holdings, if I need to make a trade either because of an IPO, if I'm going long, if I'm going short, and time is of the essence, I can look at this watch and not only find out what time it is in those time zones, but when trading hours are occurring. So it's fascinating if you have any interest in economics, finance, geopolitics, world economy, but it's also useful if you're a professional in the financial industry. If you're going to have a luxury watch, why not have one that kind of fits your billing? So it's kind of a hand in glove. For the high-end executive in the finance industry, a high-end watch with a high-end application. But it's more than that, because this is the WW.TC World Time Chronograph from Girard-Perregaux, with all the good stuff that that brings. Now you can see this is a highly complicated watch. In terms of technology and technical content, this is about as good as it gets before getting into the six-figure grand complications. This is a chronograph. This is a world time watch. This is a watch with an AM/PM indicator, 24-hour indication. It has a lot of user-friendly utility, and I'm going to show you just how user-friendly it is, because this watch might intimidate at first glance. It shouldn't. This is about as useful as a watch gets, whether you're in finance or not. Chronograph needs no explanation. It's a timer, it's a stopwatch that will track an event. You can start it, you can stop it, resume. Girard-Perregaux's own manufacturer movement here. The 330 is of their own creation, design, fabrication, and finishing. Operates beautifully. This is traditional watchmaking at its best. Girard-Perregaux is what's known as a manufacturer. I should clarify, that's a watchmaker that builds every part of its watch. They don't contract out the engineering, they don't contract out the assembly, the finishing, or even most of the parts. And Girard-Perregaux is unique. They're up there with the likes of Rolex as one of the few manufacturers that also creates its own cases. I'm going to show you a little bit of what else this watch has got and how easy it is to adjust. If you've never seen a world time watch before, I'm going to show you just how that works. Now you see this chapter ring outside the ruthenium of the dial. You see that? Watch it. Once I pull this watch out to the adjusting position, you can see that as I adjust the time, the hand moves clockwise, but the chapter ring moves counterclockwise. And that's how the watch updates the time in 24 time zones simultaneously. Now, there's also another key feature, which is the setting of your reference city. Now, the index is at the 12, so if you want to change your city, for instance, to, I don't know, let's say you live in Auckland, Australia. Okay, so I'm going to move the time zone, and I'm going to put it right there. Now, my reference time is Auckland, and I would set my time to Auckland, and I would be able to tell the time in all 24 time zones relative to Auckland local time. Very useful watch, very useful for world travelers, for those with business interests or family overseas. It's a fantastic practical watch, even if you don't have a penny in stocks. Being able to know the time in every time zone is not just useful, it's a lot of fun to show off. And in terms of visual impact, I mean, short of wearing a Panerai Luminor made of gold, you're not going to get much more attention than you will with all these technical features on the dial. This speaks volumes about the connoisseur. This is a watch for the guy who's into cult brands. The Secret Handshake watch, Girard-Perregaux. It's up there with Jaeger-LeCoultre. It's up there with Rolex. It's up there with the likes of Zenith. It's up there with the likes of Audemars Piguet as a brand that makes fine watches with high-end finishing, in-house engineering. They even make their own cases, and they finish their movements beautifully. It's not just words here. I mean, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, pardon me for using an iPhone here, but this is a beautifully finished movement with circular Côte de Genève decoration on the rotor, the automatic winding rotor, linear Côte de Genève graining on the bridges themselves, tightly spaced perlage engine turning on the base plate. The edges of the bridges and the plates are all beveled. They're beautifully engraved. You can see on this watch all the jewel sinks are polished, all the screw countersinks are polished. Not just traditional watchmaking, not just high-end engineering, but beautiful finishing. The art factor is very high here. So if you want a watch that looks cool, is cool, offers a lot of functionality, a lot of complication, and is sure to set off any watch lover in your life into just like an epileptic fit of joy, you want the Girard-Perregaux WW.TC World Time Financial Chronograph, available in magnificent condition with a full factory boxed set from watchyouwant.com. This is an incredible amount of watch for a remarkable discount off the manufacturer's suggested retail price. I won't tell you how much. For that, you're going to have to visit our website, browse our selection of quality pre-owned luxury watches, because you just may find the watch you want.